Hi everyone, welcome back. Change of filming situation today. I'm actually out in my backyard, so I'll apologise in advance. You'll probably get some road noise, and you may also hear my chickens, several of whom are just clucking around underneath my feet. I'm out here today because I'm going to do some unbottling of one of my solar dyeing experiments. Now, this is not the one I did on the film. That happens to be here, and it's changing very slowly. I think there's a bit of change in the wool colour down there, but the rest of it is going very, very slowly indeed. So that's going to be a couple of months before I'm ready to use it. So this is one which I set up on the 26th of November in 2021, and I was originally going to open it up 2 months ago, but that didn't happen. I'm out here because this is just an inherently messy process, plus I do actually want to capture what's left in this jar. I think it's still going to be usable and I'll still get some colour out of it. So what this is, the dye I used was an Australian plant called Mountain Pepperberry, and the seeds and fruits of that are really wonderful. They're a lovely peppery spice, as you might gather from the name, but I discovered completely by accident that they also give a pinky colour. So without further ado, I'm going to get into this and just keep filming. You'll see the fabric wet, and then I'll show it again later when it's dry. Oops, I said it'd be messy. I put some cotton fabric and some mercerized thread. One thing you don't get from watching this through the thing is that these smell fantastic. Gorgeous smell. In fact, one of my favourite liqueurs is made using these berries. I think you can hopefully see the berries there. Pour some out onto my hand. Now, I don't expect people to go out and buy these things. They're fairly expensive even in Australia. But I just encourage you to try using anything that you have to hand that might give a dye. So you could use onion skins, you could use avocado, all sorts of things. As you can see, this is dyed a really nice peachy pink colour. And the thread, which is mercerized cotton with a few berries still stuck inside, has also gone a gorgeous colour. Now, I will need to dry these out, and then I'll give them a quick rinse. So the expectation is that these will dry lighter than they are now. So I'll do some before and after photos so you can see them side by side and get an idea of how they've changed. Rightio, better get onto it. Like I said, I'm convinced there's plenty more dye to be gotten out of these berries and this juice. So what I've done is I've quickly gone inside and found an old camisole, which is pure silk, and I've wet it out, and I'm going to put that back in the jar. I've microwaved the juices that I brought out of it, and I'm going to pour that back on. And I also thought I might, just for the fun of it, chuck in some old rusty nails, which I keep around for the purposes of dyeing, because they will change. The iron in the nails will change the colour of the dye. So I'm just going to quickly randomly put those in, because I'm just interested in whatever colours I can get. Hope I can get that all in. I probably need to pour some of the dye in now. think I'm going to suspect I'll have trouble getting it all in otherwise. Just going to shove this in and hope I don't stab myself with one of those nails. You can see the bubbles are coming up from further down below, so just let that settle. I want to get all of this liquid in if I possibly can. That will also help making sure that the seal is really good and that I'm not getting air bubbles and running into the potential for getting fungus or mildew growing on the top. It's pretty close. I don't think I'm going to be able to get it all in. There's obviously a little bit more fabric in here than there was. I don't think there's many air bubbles. Just going to keep pushing down a little bit. I'd rather just sort of have a bit of a mess outside on the table than a problem with it later on. So, yep, I think we're just about there. Put the lid on, and again, standard practice, turn the jar upside down, just so that that lid gets heated with the hot liquid, and that will also help seal it. So I'll need to go and do a new label, and that will be my dye in another couple of months. It'll be fun to see that coming out. I just wanted to show you the final results from the Mountain Pepperberry dyeing. This is actually how they turned out after I rinsed them. So I just set them in some cold water and let them sit for about 15-20 minutes. And there's a huge amount of the dye colour came out. What I think has happened is that the peachy overtone that you can see here from the paper where I pulled it out yesterday has completely gone, and now it's a very sort of neutral fawn, cool pink colour. So hard to describe, but the sort of thing which is going to look lovely when I start doing some stitching with it and onto it. So always interesting to see what's going to come out of your dye pot.